I have a video coming out. Right now, this is a jump into the future. The video's not out yet. It's going to be. I use this for example. This was my person in front of me. Now I got Clayton. Thank God. Okay, now, this circle represented a person. The idea was, if I'm going to step back from the person, there's two ranges I want to make sure I stay in so I'm not considered as a retreat. One is that I step back just enough that my arm reach is still hitting. Notice, if you could tell, my hand is still over the circle. Okay? My hand is still over the circle. That means either two things. Either one, that the person's attack is long enough that I can still block and deal with it. Or two, I'm the one attacking, connecting the bridge. Chum Q, I'm seeking or searching or sinking a bridge. So in this case, seeking. As I come back, I gotta find the first thing that I can connect with to bridge back, whether it be an attack, whether it be grabbing somebody, something, right? But I do not want to go so far back that this is null and void, because now I can't hit the person. Does that make sense? Okay, so the second is kick range. Going back to Chum Q, I am seeking, or I'm searching for a bridge to connect with. Therefore, if I'm going to step back, it's not a retreat step back. All it is toy ma. All I'm doing is stepping back to regain a certain range to open something up. I may be so close that I can't do nothing, that the only way to do something is to step back, and now I have something. Maybe I can punch from there or something, and then I can come back and deal with it, right? So the second point is, I step back, but notice I got a kick. And the kick is just getting close enough to where it's the edge of this circle. A Dollar Tree little phone brief thing, you get it for $1. But you can practice this at home, step back, and now I got kicking range, now I can come back and attack. So the reason why this is important, it goes back to my idea of feeding. I got it from Dan and Asanto. Okay, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna tell you exactly where I got it from. Dan and Asanto was always talking about feeding. Well, if I'm feeding while retreating, then if I'm too close, I have to turn just like a little bit here. If I'm too close where I can't get nothing done, and sometimes the next thing to do is to step back. Once I step back, I have options. I can either punch, maybe I can't punch, maybe I need to grab an arm before I punch and do that. Chum Q.
Stretch them out.
Right? I can do that. Or I have points where I can kick. If he blocks the kick, that's okay, because I got him. Does that make sense? That's the point. That's where toy mark works, application-wise. If I'm too close in a Chisao thing, for some reason we're too close, there's points where either one, I can push them off and get that range and create that, which in the application I could have done that too if I retreated. Notice that. But the whole point of this video is what happens if you have to retreat. That's the question. So you treat Wing Chun as a science of unanswered questions. And even if another master answered that question, your job is to go back and re-answer the question. Because just with Clayton here, I love Clayton because he is a researcher of this stuff, of martial arts, Wing Chun, or whatever, and anything that's connected to Wing Chun in some form, even if they don't know each other. Like, he'll talk about Vikings all day. He's a Viking guy. That's great, because he's seeing things the way I see things too. And the thing about it is, when you look at combat or whatever, you're supposed to, you'll have one scientist that'll always say that this and this equals this. And math is a science as well, and reading and so forth and so on. The other person's job is to revalidate or to counter that thinking. That's the only way we get together as a people to advance in evolution is to always either conflict or assist the thinker before us, the original thinker. If we don't have that, then we can end up going through these whole tangents about this and this and that and these and those, and it doesn't advance us. But heck, we got some good knowledge. Sometimes good knowledge is no knowledge at all, just point blank. So the whole point of me, the idea of me stepping back is realize I got long arms too, and Wing Chun is really not my friend. But I love Wing Chun enough that I'm willing to give up the long range to make it work, to make things work. So I'm here. If I step back, a short step back, I at least have punch range. You can see it, right? I have striking range still. If I step back more, I can at least kick so I can see where the hands are. And that's why also Wing Chun just they do more hands, because by the time I can set up the feet to do certain things and all of that, but in the end, it's the hands that's going to get it. If I'm kicking up here, he's going to block it. I mean, he's going to be able to block every kick that I have. That's why a lot of times Wing Chun stays with low kicks. Because if I just do, you ain't going to block that, or you ain't going to block that. You know, it's a harder idea of blocking. You have to really train yourself to want to block low all the time, you know, for that kind of stuff, right? But it's also why we got the Ma. I'll explain that in another video about blocking with the Ma alone. Not with changing, not so much as changing it into a big ma or bu ma, which really is not stances. They're really footworks. It's not really a stance. There's a difference between stance and footwork stance, and I'll explain that later, along with kicks and other things. But the whole point is, I'm kicking because I want to make that bridge happen. I'm creating the Chum Q identity by going here. Once I see that hand low, now, if that hand was low and it was out, I'll use the one that's out, climbing, okay? Now, if the hand is low and the other hand is out, then I have to realize that this is where the thinking was. This is where the dominant thinking was. This is the hand he moved in order to block my kick. So sometimes this hand is not thought of. This is a well-guarded hand, but the emphasis is really not there. It's there because that kick could have stopped the groin attack. But if, like I said, back to the point, if his hand here was out and this is the main one when I was kicking, then I know I could attack the top because the hand is just there. Unless he's a smart man, he uses Wing Chun principle, and he understands that once I kick, this hand, that foot has to land. And I teach all my students this. There's even a point where I teach them that when they get the kick, when they collect the kick, when they receive it, they're trying to deflect it, force the foot down, because you know that when you force it down, their body's like this and you got them. So I'm not saying this is the answer. I'm just telling you this is part of a solution, right? There are no answers in Wing Chun. There's no answers in karate. There's no answers in all this crap. That's why we're still trying to figure out the same old stuff forever. There's no answers to the martial arts, and I wish people stop acting like there was, you know. But if he's just a regular other martial art guy, and he doesn't understand to force that foot, or at least pat it down enough where the gravity works for him, and I do this kick, and his hand is up, and even if he stops it, even if he jams it up, whatever, never mind, he's got it. Like I said, it's a solution to the problem. It's part of a solution to the problem. Because the overall problem is the fight. And the solution, the first ultimate solution would be not to fight at all if you can. If you cannot, we have to resort to other means, right? And that's the whole case. But I had to record this because he asked the question. It was the perfect opportunity. It's like, what happens when you step back? And can you step back while attacking? Can you step back while attacking? The answer is yes, but know your options at least.